My goodness, what's happened to America? What's happened to people? People are pathetic. I suppose I'm a people too. You know, I posted yesterday, a little video I put together of the current President Donald Trump, and how I support him for the election in 2020. Some fella on my page said, doggone it, I just unfollowed one of my favorite pages. And I think, I don't know really how to think about that. Do you either say, well, you know, a fella's got a right to make their own decision and on principle. So if they want to stop following my page, of course, that's fine. And if they want to draw it at the fact that I support the current President of the United States, if that's the reason they want to withdraw from a page, well, that makes sense. Matter of fact, people can do whatever they want, but where do people come together? You know, hell, we talk about the left and the right coming together. We can't even get the left to come together with the left and the right to come together with the right. Everybody's so damn offended by everything, it's pathetic. Now, I can understand on a really principled thing, you know. There are some issues that I won't budge on. There really are. I think any restrictions of guns, I don't believe in it. I don't. Because, you know, I recognize how many really wonderful, how incredible people, Americans, right? People that don't commit crimes or hurt people. Hundreds of millions of American citizens. And a lot of those people like guns. And you know what? They're not going to go out and start committing crimes or killing people just because they can buy a fully auto machine gun, or they can put a suppressor on their gun, or they can carry it wherever they want. It's not going to change them. A gun's not going to change a person into becoming a bad person. But a bad person can enhance their ability to hurt other people by using a gun. So we can't punish good people for what bad people do, because the gun has nothing to do with it. It's just an enhancer. You know, it's just when I was talking about violence. You know, people thinking violence is evil. It doesn't even have a chance to be evil. You know, violence is an act. That's it. And good people and bad people use it. So violence alone is not evil. I mean, my God, what has happened to us? I just don't understand how people. But you know, when elections happen, I used to say, this is such a bunch of crap. Every time there's an election, it's, you know, 49.5 and 50.5, and we're all convinced to watch all night long, and the fight's so close. And I still don't believe that's true. But my God, people can't get together on anything. I don't understand how the military or the police or any organization that has a team concept, how they even get along. I mean, I got soldiers talking about they don't respect soldiers, just certain soldiers. I'm like, well, how do you do that on the battlefield? You know, I understand what people are doing, but my God, we have to come together on something in common. Is there anything in common enough that we can all get along together and work together and say, hey, we're all going to do this? Or are we going to go, you know, that Jim drives a Chevy instead of a Ford, I don't like him. And that Julie, she wears orange underwear instead of blue, so I don't like her. So, I mean, what has happened to people? They're so weak and so pathetic, so self-serving. Instead of going, you know, I don't care. Let me tell you something about the current President of the United States. When he was running for office initially, he was not my number one pick. I was a Ted Cruz guy. I think Ted Cruz is a brilliant guy. I think he's a moral guy. But in the end, I think God stepped in and said, you know, Ted Cruz could be the greatest guy in the world, but you need Donald Trump. And I believe that. And yeah, he's not perfect, but neither am I, neither are you. I mean, who are we all judging each other? You know, somebody says, well, man, he's not a very moral guy. Are you? Look back in your life. If everything was exposed about you every day of your life, would you be a really moral guy? I mean, we all make mistakes and we all do stupid things sometimes. Is that what we judge each other by? Look at what this guy has done since he's gotten in. And now I got pro-gun people. He's not really pro-gun because, well, he banned the bump stock. I think that was a big mistake. I think that was really unfair to the manufacturer of the bump stock and all the people that were employed by the manufacturer of the bump stock. I do. I think it's nonsense. Because if the fact that that guy had a bump stock on one of his guns, there were 20,000 people and that guy unleashed. I mean, when we want to weaponize the bump stock, I think it was a bad decision. I do. But that doesn't mean he shouldn't be president. People talk about he's not very pro-gun. What has he done? You know, the only other thing I see that he talks about I don't like is red flag laws. They're nonsense. There's enough laws on the books, and the problem is most people don't even know the laws. There's enough laws on the books where if somebody's insane or if somebody has an issue, that the police have a right to temporarily take their guns. If I were to walk into somewhere when I was a policeman and talk to somebody and that person was talking about they're going to kill themselves, they had nothing to live for, and there's nothing I could do to help them, we would have a psychiatric counselor come to help them. And out of caring for that person, we could say, well, we're going to take these guns. 72 hours, they could pick them up. It wasn't this, hey, we're going to storm your house and take every gun you got, and then you've got to go prove that you can have them back. You instantly got them back. We just did it to see if we could help you for 3 days. Now, that makes sense. But it was justifiable. Now, if I was a corrupted somebody, like people want to pretend like cops are so damn corrupt, they do everything wrong. I'm so sick of hearing that talk. I'm sick of it, man. Is that where we're really going to go? Everybody's rotten? You know, I believe without God, people are a mess. Because God is a part of us, because God created us. That's my belief. Now watch, somebody will leave my page. And then instead of just leaving the page, they'll grandstand on, gee whiz, now I'm leaving. You know, it's really interesting. You don't hurt me to leave the page. We wish we had the millions of followers we should have. Why? Because, well, you know what? Investing 5 years of my life, my family's life, and our time and our money into something, you know, we just did it because we want to inspire people to spend time with their children, to love family, and support of firearms in America. That's why we did the page. We've never made a penny, never asked a penny from anybody. We might have asked people, hey, could you please share? Which God knows that's difficult for people to do. But if you're going to leave, then just leave. Threatening somebody that's done a whole lot for you, gave you training and video and entertainment for free, and then you threaten him because you don't like who he chooses for president, or you don't like what kind of vehicle he drives. I put a video out about why we got a small dog when we had Wyatt. And that's because throughout my life, throughout the world, there is a chance that big dogs kill children. Even big dogs that grow up as puppies with those children have been known to kill children. Now, does that mean every big dog is a killer? No, it doesn't, but it happens. And I wasn't telling people what to do. I just speak from a safety standpoint. We have a small dog, but I don't hate big dogs. I love big dogs. I've had big dogs, but when I have a small child, I have a small dog. And then people would say, yeah, but small dogs are more apt to nip. I don't care about a nip, then I'll get rid of the dog. But when a 145-pound dog grabs a hold of a 5-year-old kid by the head and snaps his neck or her neck, that's a big deal, and I don't take that chance. So I'm just talking to people. I got people quit my page, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Even some people who know me said I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, what do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? I lived it. I had friends that went through it. I saw it as a policeman, children killed by big dogs. I'm just trying to help people to say, hey, if you haven't thought about this. And people just threaten me and leave my page and get all violent with me and tell me that I don't like dogs. And people are weird, man. You know what? I support Donald Trump for the president. President Donald Trump, 2020, I do, because where else are we going to go? And I never, ever would think that guy's perfect, because there is no perfect people. You ain't perfect, I ain't perfect, nobody's perfect. But look where the country's going. You know what's interesting about my perspective? I have a police pension. That's my main source of income, because I have several irons in the fire, hoping to do good things. I have a product I've been working on for almost 4 years that's going to make police officers and soldiers more deadly on the battlefield. And the general public who would use a weapon system, it makes you more efficient with the weapon. I have that. I have this Facebook page. We're working on some other things I don't want to talk about. But you know what? My biggest source of income is my police pension. Do you know nothing alters my police pension? So for me, a bad economy is better. You see, if everybody's suffering and I make the same amount of money, I get more for my buck. But I don't want that. I don't want that. I want good things for the country. I want good things for people. When will people stop thinking about themselves? If I share an opinion, it's because I believe in it. If you don't like it, well, that's okay. You want to talk about it and disagree with it and be polite, we can talk about it. And if you want to leave the page, leave the page. But my God, I don't know how we're ever going to come together. I know how I am. I put on my big boy pants, and I'm recognizing that, you know what, people make mistakes. Everything's not perfect. And we have to come together on some common ground. And if you can't see that this country's in a much better place than where it was, you remember the $9 trillion in debt we were throwing onto the country in 8 years? That's about taking $80 billion a month and throwing it down a trash can. Where'd that money go? Who do we owe it to and who got it? That's kind of interesting, but we don't even talk about that, right? Now these people are working and the country is coming together and great things are happening. Regardless of what you think of this guy personally, he's doing great things for the country. And what I shared in that was how he's talking about God is important in this country, and I agree with that. And he talks about pro-gun, and he talks about pro-family and smaller government. What else do we want? Isn't that what we all want? I don't even know how anybody wants a big government. Who wants somebody to put more oppressive rules on them? You know, opportunity in a free society is what this country's all about, and that's what this president is talking about, and people don't like him, even people that believe in it, because they don't like his hair, or they don't like something he said yesterday. I mean, it's like we're doomed. It's like we're doomed because everybody's weak. It's weak, man. Pick a side and stand on it. So everybody just flows with the frickin' wind, man, like a leaf or a piece of grass. It's pathetic. All these guys that pound their chest and talk about being big and tough, and I'm a gun owner, and then they're weak. They're weak. Hell, my little old ladies are tougher than that. At least they choose a side and they stick with it, even if things don't go completely right, because that's how life goes. That's where people need to be. And I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but I know what it's like to be a man, and I know that I choose a side and I fight with it. That's what I do, and that's what men are supposed to do. So if you're some weak, little sniveling, little nobody who blows with the wind, who changes their mind, get off my page. I don't want you on our page. And I don't care if there's only one person left, because if I stop spending time doing this page to try and help people and build the country, being selfless and spending and getting nothing, then you know what? It won't hurt me. I'll spend even more time with my family, and then everybody can go do what they want to do. We just live in this society where everybody's about themselves. So sick, man. So sick. Sick and weak. Let me tell you a little story about how I ended up with Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. Real simple. Personal experience. Once when I was a young patrolman, probably about 4 years on the job, I was working ringside at a prize fight. I saw Donald Trump amongst a bunch of celebrities. And he wasn't president then. I didn't know much about him. I never followed celebrities, but I knew who he was. And he walked across the room. He had a little chiclets type thing, like breath mints or little candies or something. And then he walked up to me and he asked me if I'd like one. He was polite. He was kind. He was a celebrity. He didn't have to talk to me. I protected a lot of celebrities in my life at special events. Most of them never talked to me. He was kind. He was decent. And he was pro-police. Fast forward about 5 years, and I'm working in SWAT, and we're protecting the Clintons. Now, Bill Clinton, believe it or not, regardless of his downfalls and his mistakes, he was a really nice guy. His personality is outstanding. But Hillary Clinton, she was a narcissist. She hated anybody in the police field or the military field. She treated everybody like garbage, Secret Service, police, people that were there to protect her. She wouldn't even talk to you or look at you or acknowledge you unless she got on camera, and then she'd fake something. And usually she wouldn't even do that. She had such contempt for people that were ethical and would put their lives on the line for her. And when those two people met in the office, when it came down to those two, my decision was made not even because of all of the causes, but because of personal decision, because I've known those people and I knew the truth. And that's where we need to be, the truth. Enjoy your coffee. See you next time.